In the words of Carpenter, the components of an inclusive education are access, participation, and equitable outcomes. This is the kind of classroom I want to provide to all of my students. I believe children's education should develop each child's personality, talents, and abilities to the fullest. It should encourage children to respect others, human rights, and their own and other cultures. I also believe in Carpenter's statement of inclusion is much more an individual experience than a group experience, and is as much related to the individual's social participation, access to quality education, and an enduring sense of well-being as it is to academic achievement, specific competencies, and school placement considerations. McCallum goes further by saying the development of an inclusive community is about appreciating and celebrating diversity. And that's exactly what it's about. I decided to make an artifact that incorporates the inclusive elements of community, respect, and relationships. The artifact is a class family tree that I will implement at the start of the year. Each student will get a leaf which represents them as an individual. They must fill it with things about themselves. These can be things like their name, a photo of themselves or family, drawings of things in their life like siblings, sports, pets, or even toys. Every day for the first few weeks, the children and I will get to know each other by talking about our leaf in full class, small group, and paired discussions. We will have a day dedicated to celebrating the different cultures on our tree that will be organised by the students. They must work together to find out information about the culture and hold a class party where the culture is celebrated. We could also have a Bring Your Parent to School Day, where some of the parents could come in and talk to the students about their culture, job, or even a hobby. My aim is to create a learning community that respects individual differences. And as Lee states, there is an opportunity to build communities that recognize and represent others who have been shunned, to build rich learning communities of difference. This artifact provides a perfect opportunity to build a community in my very own classroom. It will develop their knowledge of the cultures around them and start to promote an accepting environment. I think this is very important and is backed up by Carpenter when he says a lack of recognition in Indigenous cultures and identity from the school, culture and identity can result in the effective exclusion of the Indigenous student and their family from the school community. Akara also states that students with well-developed social and emotional skills develop resilience and a sense of self-worth, engage in teamwork, and feel positive about themselves and the world around them. This artifact is designed to strengthen and maintain respectful relationships with peers and mentors and promote a positive culture within the community. Once they have filled their leaf with things about themselves, each child will be allocated a branch on the class family tree to put their leaf on. These branches will have personal goals the student has come up with written on them. Hopefully this will show them how they each relate to the class which is represented by the tree. McCallum states that central to any definition of democracy is the need for people to interact, participate, and become empowered to make decisions. So I decided that when a student meets their goal, they can grow a fruit and write about one of their peers on it, which is decided by pulling a name out of a hat. It must be something they think is good or interesting about the person. They can then put it on the student's branch, and they can all read their fruit at the end of the day. This encourages positive relationships and respect for one another and the community. Drummond states that there is immense potential within the community of minds that constitutes the group for enhancing and transforming learning capacity if the resources of the group can be effectively harnessed and enabled to operate more purposefully and productively in support of everybody's learning. I think this artifact would be a perfect resource to enhance and transform learning capacity. It can also be used to develop positive and respectful relationships, communities, social interactions, teamwork, self-identity, and accountability. This would be a great addition to any inclusive classroom and provides a more equitable experience for the students.